施錠をしたとはいえ、こんな古い木の扉なんて簡単に破られるだろうな。
Now, I may get a little bit of hate for this, or a lot actually, I don't really know. But the anime fandoms being talked about in this video are a whole different level of toxicity. So toxic that walking into these fandoms is gonna require a hazmat suit and a good can of pepper spray. Cause we all know how the saying goes, one spray a day keeps the MHA stands away. Though the word toxic for some of these anime fanbases can be interpreted in a number of ways. Some people may think that other fanbases are less toxic than others. This also applies to other forms of media besides anime. Some good examples include FNAF, Undertale, K-pop, freaking Steven Universe. Oh god, that fandom makes me want to just fork my freaking eyes out. But obviously, I think the majority of us can agree that toxic fandom doesn't define the basic series as a whole, nor should you have that kind of mentality. The fan bases behind these series are just really freaking huge. I like to think that no fandom is toxic. It's the internet that's the toxic one. Yeah, bet you haven't thought about that one before. And today I want to explore these particular fandoms and why people deem them to be so toxic based on their bad reputation of things they've done on the internet. Now I better stop talking before this becomes a 40-minute YouTube video. Starting off with number 1.
My Hero Academia.
The My Hero fandom, or something I like to call
My name is JoJos, and this is my boyfriend. And this is his boyfriend.
Hey Bakugo. Wanna play Smash?
a cult of quirk-loving 14-year-old white girls, a group by which lives off of harassing the creator of My Hero and crying because their favorite ship doesn't exist in the entire anime series. There are times when I dream of a utopian world. Paradise. A society where I can freely go on Google and type in Bakugo and Neku without the first search results consisting of two 16-year-old dudes forcing themselves upon each other, for God's sake. You know, I like My Hero Academia for the show it is. The first 3 seasons were great. The 4th season was meh, but that's not the matter at hand here. If we were ever gonna wonder about all the bad things that the My Hero fandom has done, we first have to ask ourselves, what haven't they done? Like seriously, they've done a lot of horrible stuff in the past. A funny thing about the My Hero fanbase is I actually made a whole video on this fandom, and even with my jet engine audio quality, that video still holds true to this day. And I know it's not the series' fault that it turned out this way, because due to the crazy success of the franchise, there's bound to be toxicity in some corners of the fanbase all over, in more corners than I can count, to be honest. And though there's a lot that could be said about the My Hero community, there honestly would be no point restating information when most of the people watching already have a clear idea of how this fanbase already is. But if I had to give a good summary of the My Hero fandom in a nutshell, it would probably be like, Horikoshi sensei, make Baku Todo canon, or we'll cancel you on Twitter. No. You know, I don't think I want to add that in the story because I don't want to distract the readers from what the actual plot point of what I'm trying to write is here. Because, you know, the story is about superheroes and that concept doesn't really have much to do with what I'm trying to write about superheroes. Wait, what are you? Number 2.
Dragon Ball.
Dragon Ball, the grandfather of all shonen anime. And though while Dragon Ball has become one of the most beloved and popular series that it is today, the fandom is like someone put a bunch of rabid dogs in a cage to argue over which one of Goku's 10 forms is the coolest, which the answer is Super Saiyan 4, and you can't tell me otherwise. Now, if you excuse me, if you still haven't caught on, I will now do my best to describe the Dragon Ball fans in about 12 seconds. I think when people keep repeating the fact that Dragon Ball fans have only ever watched Dragon Ball, I'm starting to understand that, yeah, Dragon Ball fans have only ever seen Dragon Ball, including Dragon Ball Z Kai, Dragon Ball Super, Dragon Ball GT, and yes, even Dragon Ball Heroes. Don't fuck with Dragon Ball fans. We can't read. This meme is quite accurate, considering the fact that the fandom only knows a few words, those of which are, it's over 9,000, and, but can he beat Goku? This is the main debate that Dragon Ball fans have. A question that has sparked many discussions. Is there anyone in the world that can possibly beat Goku? But you know, a quick Google search wouldn't hurt anyone, right? Yes, of course. There are many characters who can defeat Goku. Though all jokes aside, I used to be part of the Dragon Ball fandom, and though people's perception based on what they see from the vocal minority, the fandom isn't such a bad place once you meet some quite nice people. But my main message to the Dragon Ball fanbase anywhere y'all may be is to branch out a little, instead of just spending your entire life through watching things like Dragon Ball, Naruto, and even including JoJos. Yes, JoJos. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure fandom is probably one of the most cancerous fandoms I've ever came in contact with. Out of every question that has been asked in the history of mankind, every thought that our human minds have come up with in our lifetimes, thought-provoking questions like, where did we come from? What's our purpose in life? And, hey, have you seen JoJo? JoJo fans will go to the extreme to find that one anime fan who has yet to have graced their eyes upon JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. And when you say, yes, I actually have seen JoJo's before. Oh, well, in that case, Zawar! Part 6 is never gonna come back. Careful what you say in public because it just might be a JoJo's reference. No, seriously, even breeding has managed to become a JoJo's reference. The JoJo fanbase thinks using dead memes is the epitome of comedy. Sometimes I do wonder how many times I'm gonna repeatedly see the same Dio walk meme, the same Giorno Giovanna theme song, and basically Jotaro playing literally every single dang game in existence. Jotaro plays Roblox, Arsenal. Jotaro plays Ronaldinho Soccer 64. Does anyone even play that game anymore? And this barely even scratches the surface on the other 11,000 JoJo memes recited in a subreddit that goes by the name of JoJos. But though, as I always repeat myself when giving my 2 cents on what I think about these particular fan bases, I'm most likely talking about the vocal minority in which make the most noise. And in this case, JoJo fans make a lot of noise. Plus, if you are one to get into JoJos for the memes or whatever, I don't have control over you in that regards. You're obligated to do whatever you want. But just please don't skip JoJo parts. Once you get used to the wacky scenes and weirdness that appear from time to time, the show becomes a fantastic series to watch and enjoy, which is the only thing I could ever ask for in the JoJo's fandom. Next up,
進撃の巨人
I can do this. I can do this. The fan base won't attack me. I hope the fan base does not attack me. Now, I wasn't meaning to put Attack on Titan on this list originally from the script. You know, from a fandom that used to be known to create countless memes, Photoshop images, and even the non-stop Aaron X Levi fan arts. I never thought that the fandom will eventually turn out to be a fan base to eventually partake in sending death threats and harassing the directors in a fashion I'd like to describe the fandom as bad character development. Back then, as hype as Season 1 was and how massively popular the franchise has become, the AOT fandom wasn't very known to be too overly toxic, excluding out the Ariri shippers and the annoying children who were constantly stating how Attack on Titan is the greatest anime ever! The fanbase wasn't particularly known to get into such toxic behavior, unlike now, where the fanbase is just like... With the recent studio change of WIT to Mappa Studios that the franchise had to undergo, the Attack on Titan fanbase has become nothing short of whiny babies who constantly complain of the CGI choices that Mappa decided to do and the fact that Mikasa has now become an actor. Man. Mappa is known to be a studio to have really good CGI, and they've proven that fact through many of their past works. Plus, if you ever want to have a taste of what bad CGI looks like, just watch Berserk. 2016 version. And all the fuss concerning about Mikasa's new look, for the fact that a bunch of weebs complaining about the design of a fictional character is honestly beyond me. Like, who cares, man? I also believe that all the unnecessary hate towards the directors of the show is totally uncalled for, and it puts a smile on my face to see many genuine fans of the show retaliate and shower the staff with compliments and praise. And that's mainly the types of stuff I love to see in a fandom. And with that, I believe I touched upon how these fandoms are the prime examples of toxicity in the anime community. Though I do also understand with every growing fan base, there's always gonna be new toxic ones to follow behind them. Though these circumstances are quite inevitable actually, and as long as you don't associate with them in any type of way, then I think we can vibe on the same page here. I might make a part 2 on this. There are obviously other toxic fan bases that need to be addressed. Yeah, you know I'm looking at you, Tokyo Ghoul fan. But for now, I think I would just stop there and escape the torture that I had to go through